And we got to do some things on the whiteboard where we showed how to really format the command after we've identified the beliefs, who we resent. Now, this same process, I want to say that for the purposes of this program have really been abbreviated a bit, because the next step in this is to say, who do I resent, and then who resented me, and that you go back and forth with those. And when I did that with in that very first Commanding Wealth, I did not realize how much guilt and shame I was actually carrying around all the time, and what a weight that was. And so I spent every break like calling people in my family and friends and different folks, just crying, telling them how sorry I was and how I had wanted to do better. And the wonderful thing was that every person said, Catherine, I never thought of that. I never had that resentment. And that's really the case so many times, that we're carrying a burden that's really not there to be carried anymore. So I want to encourage you, as part of your own personal growth, to devote some time to looking at who resents you and who do you resent. And really, it takes a lot of courage to do that. I want to have an open forum, but also before I do that, the little section on formatting the command based on the resentments, that piece didn't get recorded. And I think it's an important skill set that you guys need to be able to refer back to. So if I can get an affirmation that you don't mind if we go back through that piece again and help somebody identify who they resent and what they would have liked to create instead, so that they can really see how that process works. So who'd like to be my practice subject for this exercise? And you can just type in, sure, I'm back here. And you know what, Sandy? I'm so sorry. I'll give you a voice, but there's something cold coming through here, and I am freezing. Do you mind give me one of the shawl or something? Because I don't know why it's cold. We can't really have the heat on here because the sound comes into the recording. All right. All right, thank you. That helps.
Start with that.
All right. And then I put my icon up there with my picture so you can see me, because it actually is a little disturbing to look at yourself talking all the time. So I need to get a practice subject for the exercise. We worked with Ruby and Joy kind of at the same time, and I'm wondering, so here we go, there's Miss Sandy Pandy. I resent my parents for not wanting me as an intern, and Ruby says, I still see you. Okay. For me, trust is trusting people. Okay, great. I'm wondering, hello, Sandy, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think I may have to put in my earbuds for this one.
Oh, just a second.
Hello?
Oh, you're loud and clear.
Yeah, but I'm going to put my earbuds on so it doesn't echo, because you're going to talk and then people will hear you talking into my phone.
Okay. Well, I guess that means I better leave the room.
There we go. Now you can. All right. So I'm going to put this phone on hold. Let me switch over to my audio here.
Okay. Get both my earbuds in.
There we go. Just want to make sure, Sandy, can you hear me in the thing?
I can hear you well, and are you hearing me well?
Yes, I am. I'm hearing you in my head now. So.
And how is everyone else? Can you hear us all right? Are we having any feedback?
Okay. All right, awesome. Yeah, Sandy, and I always hear you in my head. Sandy's volume could be better, so I'm going to turn mine up in here, and then there's a place too that when you go to your speaker, yeah, it says gain, so I'm going to push it up a little bit too. There we go.
Okay.
Hey, is Verini back? Verena, are you back with us, darling? There you go. Verena, you were having some trouble forming a command. Would you mind being our practice partner? Okay. Now, what I'm going to do with you, since I've got you, I'm going to give you a voice, but you could put on an icon. Let me see. No, let's just go ahead and have you type in. Um, so on your exercise of the thing that, the resentment, who was it that you resented?
For me, it was actually my ex-husband. Oh, are you
No, I'm
talking
talking
to?
to Verena.
Oh, Verena, I just wanted to step in. I guess I thought she was going to talk to me. I was paying attention to something else.
Okay, good. So the guy from the heater. Okay, so he was like an AC man, right? Okay. So let's call him a heater. We call him HVAC guys, which is heat, you know heat air type of thing. So
Let's
HVAC.
go with this. Just the heater guy. Just the
Okay,
heater
heater
guy.
guy.
Chimney.
Okay, chimney sweep. Okay, and so coming back to the original presentation of the exercise of when did it happen, and I'm actually looking for my PowerPoints for the exercise of when it happened, what he kept you from, who did it to you, what they did, what did you lose or were prevented from having, being, or doing, and what wish you happened instead. And if you could get those typed in for me, that would be awesome.
Okay, let me have the whiteboard back.
And y'all watch me. Suddenly I got something in my eye. Okay. Back when I waited tables, the standard line when you get something in your eye, it's like, hey, I got something in my eye, and really what? And go, you. You have my eye, baby.
I heard that.
So, okay. All right. So the chimney sweep, and she's sweeping. She's typing the words right now. Heater failed to give a test, so he gave me 4 weeks to get it fixed. Oh, so he said that so for 4 weeks, was your, um, okay, so the guy from the heater, the chimney sweep, so it failed the test. You had a time limit. It was going to be expensive. I remember that. There's an echo of Catherine's voice. I bet I need to turn mine down, maybe. Or it's my audio. I want to try this.
I lost you right there. I can't hear you at all.
No, I did that.
So
Okay,
maybe
yeah, I turned
because
mine down
on
a little bit. I think she's turned it
my
down. Okay. All right. So there was a time limit. It was going to be expensive. So I called, I referred to another guy, told me I had to get another heating system. So there's this big drama, and there was some upset. I remember you talking about this. But one said, don't need to worry this winter. By the way, if she's in Switzerland in the winter, it's cold there. Heat is a big deal. Okay. So she's still typing. She's letting us know what's going on.
It's not only about finding out that the heater was going to need to be repaired, it was going to take 4 weeks, but now an even greater is going to happen because you have to have a whole brand new heater.
Hmm.
So it was increased.
Oh, okay. So no, one guy said, "Oh no, you have to get a new heater. It's going to be super expensive." But then you called someone else and they said, "Well, it's fine. It works fine enough." And that he would call me within a week's time. Okay. So Verena, we're just going to have you kind of type out the little sections. What is it about this that you resent? I'm really, now that the guy's coming back, so it's all unresolved. Oh, okay. So all the time wasted. So right, time wasted. You're going to fail. But it was all him that caused the problem, even though another text said it was fine. Okay. So what is it about this that makes you angry? I think everyone can agree that while you're typing, this dealing with utilities, service companies, and all these things that kind of like are, you know, they're supposed to keep our life running, that we have to have. There's all these extra rules and regulations. Um, and it's like we're dealing with a big entity, and then there's the representatives, and there is a certain feeling of impotence that we have with that. Well, she's typing and letting us know. For me, one of my biggest issues that I had would be dealing with the electric company, especially in Texas, and electricity is very expensive. Working in apartments is a big stress in my job, getting the tenants to get the electricity in their name, make sure we paid only for our electricity, make sure that all the, employees kept the electricity turned off, and then if there was a mistake after we'd done things on our part to try to deal with the electric company to come out in a timely manner, get bills resolved, and you never could just call someone and talk to them. You're suddenly in a big interactive phone system. You finally get to them, the phone is slow, the computer's slow, they can't find you. And before I would ever call, I would be so agitated. It just was a nightmare. And so I would wind up having like this stack of electric bills. And then I would be angry with my tenants over the electricity. And I really had to learn how to project into the future. I mean, I resented being put in this position. I resented the tenants. I resented the electric company. I just really did not want to be a utility manager. And I just felt like it was too much. Well, the program behind there was, well, she's typing in, so I'm going to give you all these, was my time is being wasted. I'm being blamed for something. I have a responsibility that I really have no authority over, and I'm powerless in this. And it can wind up affecting my money. And this is just a big nightmare. So so all of that emotion would be built up before I even started dealing with this. So what I had to do is flip that around and start saying, what experience do I want to have when I'm dealing with utility companies? And what outcome do I want? So working with the one command on really these mundane things, what seem like mundane, they really take up a lot of energy and space because they're reflective of some other inner programs. Okay, so I was able to turn them around, and suddenly I noticed I was calm and relaxed as I was dealing with the utility company. And now I come in from the position of being a customer, a person with all the rights of a customer. All right, Miss Verena, I'm coming back because she had a lot of typing to do. Okay, so I was being told to get it fixed within weeks, and then the other guy said without seeing my heater that I would need a new heater, 25,000 Swiss francs. But did my share, but the results show that I might not take care of my business, and I want reasonable offers. Okay, so I'm getting some blame. And there's something I think on yours on the shares, because this has to do with some rights in Tennessee. So there could be some legal issues and some losses because of this issue. Okay. So so what I'm hearing you say, based on this, is if there is a problem, you want to be able to resolve it quickly and be treated fairly by the people who you do business with. And then also, with this, have a sense of being empowered. But I'm hearing not to blame if something is like this comes up, that you should be able to have some be treated fairly. There's the recurring theme: being treated fairly through this whole thing. Am I right? Treated fairly. Okay. Now Rich is typing. Okay, and so your time being wasted, you want your time used well. Okay. How about time respected? Because this isn't respectful of your time. Okay. And we say not to, like if you were going to be to blame, you could say that we could flip it to not be blamed. That blame is still a very limiting kind of way of thinking and feeling and being. That's like shifting the blame. So that's still a very negative, fearful, powerless state. Okay, that's a kid state. Kids blame each other. So instead of a state of blame, we have to think about people who are willing to take responsibility and be accountable. So think of that word being accountable, which is very different than blame. Are you willing to be accountable for your actions and your choices? Like if, hey, you had blown off getting your heater fixed and dealing with that, then yeah, they'd have the right to make you accountable. But because there's an accountability to you, it would be fair that he would be accountable right back to you to help you get this solved in a timely manner. So this phrase accountability is really coming in for you too. So she's just writing yes, yes, yes. Rich is typing. I'm not sure why Rich's isn't quite showing yet. Now someone asked if you can, the little boxes look too small when you view this. Ruby was asking this. If you look at your control panel, and I think you may see mine, there's supposed to be, and Sandy, tell me if you have this, there's a little maximize box in the corner.
You just hit the button, so and like you can hit on, if everybody can, just in your web camera picture here on the top left, there's an expand button here. Got your expand button for the picture, the share page that we have up, which is the whiteboard right now, with the one commands, and working through the process.
Okay.
Okay. But you also have an option to where you can change this to where it all breaks out. They may be stuck in one scene. So open up your large screen, something to a full screen, and show them. It's like Windows. It's basically it's set up on a Windows format. So if you expand, there you go.
And you can do the same with the
in
chat.
The top right corner. There you go. See.
There you go. All right. She has a feeling that there was a cheaper option, but it's like being taken advantage of. Verena, I'm going to pause you there. That there was maybe we'll write that there was the right solution. That there's a solution that's right for you and your current situation. Okay. All right. Good. All right. So all of our commands, and I think all of us insert. Whoop. can kind of definitely relate to these feelings of wanting to get a fair deal, be treated fairly, that your time is respected, that you're to be accountable and others are accountable to you. Now, Richard is asking a great question. We evaluate situation according to our beliefs and our mood that we're in at the time these situations bring up our internal self-imposed limit. So it is not the situation, it is the internal belief of how do we change the beliefs. I'm going to do a demonstration with you on that, and you're right, because we're meeting these from a particular perspective right now. She was in that moment, she felt powerless. She was not in her adult self. So she had a sense of, there was her identity, there was her beliefs about everything that she was dealing with on this. There was, her, there was just so many elements here, but she's also stressed and tired and not enough time. There's other emotional things going on. So there could even be, there's so many factors. So you're right. There's your beliefs, there's your perception, there's things that were happening in the environment. But it all kind of comes back to your self-identity. And this is really one of those situations that it kind of replicates in a lot of different areas of not only her life, but we have these type of things. And then if we get upset, what's happening is we feel violated. There's an internal rule that's being broken, and we don't quite really know what it is. And so we're kind of like a little kid acting out. So, and she's saying, Verena says, and I called within time, and they missed. They were still messing me up. So see, there's that anger.
There, and even proves the point because I called in time, and this is what you do when you're feeling tired as a child and you're getting scolded. You're saying, "But I called.
Mm-hmm.
I called you."
Right.
So
yeah, I'll hold your microphone up this way because it's kind of waving around. Okay, great. All right, Miss Verena.
Better.
We're going to go ahead and all come up together. Let's go ahead and change this belief because the belief is the feeling is not being treated fairly, okay, and that she doesn't have a voice. This not treated fairly feeling, this belief about even when she goes and starts dealing with something, her base operating assumption is that she has to watch out because she's not going to be treated fairly. Remember this? Remember what she's looking for? She wants to make sure that she avoids situations where she is not treated unfairly. She wants to make sure she keeps all of those users and scammers and abusers away from her. And what did she find? There you are. Let me call you up and make an appointment for you to come to my home. We're going to make sure we spend a lot of time on this.
And why do we do that except that what we focus on is what we attract? So
well, it's the eternal match.
That's how we end
up
calling those
situations. The thing we try to
situations.
avoid is the thing that we wind up creating. All right. So wouldn't you like for your reticular activating system to find the right mechanic, the right technicians, the right support, the people with the right information, the people who are respectful and accountable and want to build a long-term relationship with you? Isn't that who you want to be? Yeah, so let's go ahead and create that. Do you like this? I think I'm going to send you, I will make a t-shirt with me doing this for you. Okay. I'm going to find that one up there. Okay. So let's go ahead and close our eyes and let's go ahead and create this. I think everyone can resonate with wanting to be treated fairly. Go ahead and close your eyes. Ground. Bring your attention up into your heart and that love in your heart. Okay. Think of the situation like I'm sure as we're talking about chimney sweeps and electric companies and big faceless entities, we all have some we all have something that kind of relates to that. So Think about maybe you have your utility company or your HVA people, or you have the stupid cable company who says, yes, we're here to serve you. Just stay at home between the hours of 8 and 12 and we'll be right over. But we won't tell you when. Just go ahead and think of that. Maybe you have this idea about the government, your company. Okay, your business. Good. And whatever that entity, that energy is, go ahead and we're going to pull that up right up through your heart. Roll your eyes, picture, visualize, or imagine that you are traveling up that golden pole of light. And the higher you go, the faster you go. And right up behind you, go ahead and pull that chimney sweep or the cable company, the government. Yeah, I'm going to pull all of TXU energy up right behind me. There we go. And their stupid nuclear power plant, too. We're going to go ahead and pull all that right up. And as we break through the light, right into this amazing potential. And we're just going to send all of those folks out. We're going to just send that whole system of resistance and denial out, out, out into space. Eyes up, silently state. I don't know how I can know and trust that I have the ability to get a fair deal. I only know I am treated fairly now, and I am fulfilled. I don't know how my time is respected. I only know that my time is well used, and I'm respectful of other people's time too. And I am fulfilled, and I don't know how. I am willing to accept accountability for my actions, and I am in relationship with those who are willing to be in accountability to me. I only know we are accountable, we are able, we are responsible now, and I am fulfilled. I don't know how the right solution for my heating arrives. I only know that the right solution is right here now, the right money, the right timing. I don't know how this solution can all work out in my favor. I'm going to say it again, in the right time, in the right way. I only know that things are right within me now, and I am fulfilled. Just let that go. When we think about the chimney sweep, as other folks, I want you to just go ahead and invite you to this idea. Let your eyes relax as that's expanding out. Stay in this state for a moment. These people, these businesses, these situations are just players in our inner dramas. They have come into our life because we sought them out to work out our internal programs. And can we release them from the obligation of having to be in that role of denying us anymore, of stealing from us, from wasting our time, from hurting us? Are you willing to release that mechanic from the obligation of taking your money? Ah, there we go. Ooh. And just let them go. Send them off into the light. And now feel yourself coming back in to your body in a new position inside of yourself as one who's treated fairly, who's respected, who's willing to be accountable. And just feel all that new thoughts, feelings, ideas of respect and fairness, of knowing what to do, of how to do it, being able to find the right solution. And we're just going to unwind any of those feelings of resentment, anger, regret, frustration. Just let all that go. And we're going to rewind. A whole new sense of confidence, a sense of competency, sense of capability, of respecting our own time. And now let that chimney sweep or the company, just let that all, whoever that is that you send up, let them all come back into their own proper role and position within yourself now. There we go. And then bring your attention back to your heart. And when that feels complete, let me know. That was lovely, guys. Verena's typing now. Sandy was like going rocking and rolling over there.
Hey, I take advantage of all the commands. You know, this is what has changed my life. I've gotten to sit in with a lot of the seminars, and I take it all. You know, it seems to relate to me.
All right, good. So Verena's letting us know how she's doing and what she's noticing. Hey, and if anyone else, she felt so frustrated and before it was all brown and dark. Yeah, and one thing that we didn't do was ask her about the colors, like when she thought about the negative, what color that was, and then when she thought about the positive, what color a positive experience would be. And then everyone else, when you think about it now, white and bright. All right. Okay. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, and so we're going to talk about how we can call back that money and that time. You know, time is very elastic. We get to stretch that out. Okay, and when we think about, and I just would love to get some feedback from some other folks on this, and let me know if this was helpful. I'm going to stop the recording for just a moment so that we can make sure that this is in a separate slot here.